This is your boy, Lord Thaddeus Gray. This is going to be a true crime piece. On the 3rd of June, I believe, there was a murder. It was a bad one. Happened in a Giant Eagle store. I'm not exactly sure of the location, but it happened on the 3rd of June. The witch that killed this little boy, who was named Julian Wood, the witch that killed him was named Bionca Ellis. A lovely piece of garbage. Garbage human that pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, needs to be burning in the fires. If it was up to me, should be doing it now. So in case you ain't figured out, I have a very low opinion of this hag. I'll say it with a smile on my face. But anyway, I've given her enough attention on that. The action, however, is something I want to cover. Because again, I told you guys, human nature fascinates me, as well as what could be effective with things beyond that. Now, this little boy was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. This woman, I think if I remember correctly, she had stolen a butcher knife or a paring knife or something, or basically a large blade. She had stolen it from a Goodwill. And she was just waving it around in that store. I think it was the next day. I could be wrong on that. Or earlier. It doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. My point is the deed is what matters. She was waving that thing around and just walked up to that little boy. He was like in the child seat of a grocery cart, right? Just stabbed him in the face, stabbed him in the neck. Pretty straightforward. And the reason she did this is what makes me so furious. She was wanting to get away. My point is this. There was a history of this broad's records. She wanted an escape. She didn't want to be on the street. She wanted to be locked up. So where you can get 3 hots and a cot and, just so-called easy treatment. Now, any of those of you guys who've been in jail or prison know that, of course, it ain't really easy and it's definitely not fun. However, there is a certain mentality among certain people that, basically, I'm talking about the dregs of society that have nothing to offer. It's an escape. It's a choice. And some people are all about that kind of life. This woman was sick. Or is sick. Very sick in the head. Make no mistake. And I'll be honest with you, there is an appeal to the darker parts of the human mind. If you're tired of living life, or you're tired of dealing with certain things, just do something stupid or evil, you get locked up. And that right there is definitely, well, obviously this woman is very, like I said, she has serious mental illness and serious problems. And like I said, I ain't necessarily going to slam the one to get away. That's how she did it. I mean, if you want to do something, my point is, if you want to do something like that, say, hey, I'm feeling crazy, go to a psych ward or something. There ain't no excuse for doing evil. And believe me, whatever kind of passenger this woman had, there is no getting past it. It was very evil. And believe me, I think it's going to be taking her to hell. Which I'm thinking, I know the Lord's saying that I shouldn't be condemning nobody. I'll tell you right now, what's even worse, which I've discovered in his eyes, is pardoning it. If you know what I'm saying. The reason I want to bring this up is simple. I want to cover parts of the human mind. And I want to kind of give my own understandings, which ain't much, but like I said, I do understand to a degree when it comes to certain things, at least when it comes to the mental situations, more than many. And besides, that's what you guys come on here to listen to. You're probably wondering, what the hell is so tempting about, if you're mentally sick, why would you want to not do anything and just coast by? Because it's easier. Laziness is the most prevalent thing in human nature if you're not careful. If you can get away with doing something and not having to work for it, it's going to happen. And I've come across people like this during my, even with myself for a while. It was a very easy escape. That's the thing. It's an escape from the stress and just dealings with life. That's the reason sometimes I would do the things I did when I was younger. But again, you choose to change. You choose to do better, to be better. But at the same time, there are some people out there, like I said, they're scum. Some people choose to act like animals, and they sell out their humanity. And this woman was one of them. She chose to do the things she did. You look up Bionca Ellis's case. You look up her story, and believe me, there was a channel called The Misery Machine. They also covered it. And there's also a guy I watch regularly. He's also from Houston, like me. He goes by the Dynamic Reason channel. I would recommend him, too. He goes by Steve. He actually he has another true crime channel that he covered. I don't think it was actually someone else, but he also covers good stuff. But anyway, The Misery Machine, they did a very good job in covering this witch. And I figured, to be honest, I wanted to give my 2 cents. She also had a passenger. This woman had a very evil passenger. This is where of course, you guys know that I do paranormal stuff, so that's what I'm going to comment about. She had, or has, a very evil spirit in her. And something like that, you have to understand something about fallen entities. They've been stripped away from the Creator. L.A. Marzulli got this right. They've been stripped away from the Creator so long. It's driven them insane. And what exactly is the point of insanity? Insanity is where you have no sense. You want to destroy everything around you. And as a result, it's tied to the ultimate wickedness, or evil. Because a child is as innocent as it gets. A child has the most light in them. And what, of course, does something that's been stripped away from creation want? To destroy. They want to destroy the light of something that recently was created. And this, I'm sorry, in case you ain't figured out, I have a very low opinion of this woman. But anyway, my point is, when someone is infested with demons, and it's usually their choice, don't kid yourself. Just because someone's mentally ill, they may be more prevalent to oppression or whatever. But I've come across enough people to know that some people ain't got a choice in many ways. You know, their mind is just so thrashed, they cannot be held accountable. But when you have, what do you call it? I can't remember the exact term, but it's where you plan or predetermine something before you do it. And I know there's like a court term or a police term for premeditation. That's it. It's when something's premeditated. That right there shows you're of your own accord. You know right from wrong. You know what you're doing. And that's what this bitch did. Sorry, I know I'm cussing. You don't have to deal with it. That's what this thing did. She made a choice of her own accord. The passengers just let her choose. And because of the darkness in her own soul, she chose it. And let me tell you, this woman's fate, I don't envy anybody. I'm telling you that right now. But I wanted to give you kind of an insight. It's very easy to fall into that darkness, that laziness. It's something we all have to fight, you know. You want to do something to basically have yourself put somewhere to where you ain't got to do shit. All you got to do is get your 3 hots and your cot. Like I said, I've come across many convicts and felons and ex-cons and all that in my life. And let me tell you something. Most of them don't have that attitude. Most of them want to do better. But there are some that have that sense of entitlement, which is very disgusting and very wicked. And just quite literally, sometimes I wish Frank Castle was a real person. That's the comic character called the Punisher, by the way. Now, of course, I'm glad he's not, because the system's broken up as it is. But my point is this. You have to understand why people do the things they do. That helps, at least that helps with me, for the world to make better sense. Because believe me, there's so much going on sometimes. The world makes no sense to me at all sometimes. It really don't. It really bugs the hell out of me at times. But this right here is one of those cases where, ironically, I guess because of my own experiences, it made a lot of sense. I'm going to try to see if I can find the GoFundMe for Julian's family, if it's even up anymore. I'm going to try to put that out on this page, because I'm figuring they need your prayers and they need just the right thing to be done. Like I said, if y'all can, donate to them. Like I said, if it's even up. If it ain't going to be there because there's nothing there. But either way, this little boy's parents, they're needing your prayers. His family's needing your prayers. And it's just a big mess all the way around. And as for Miss Bionca Ellis, please rest in peace and have fun where you're going. Because believe me, It's going to be a very long, warm trip. You guys be blessed and you be safe. You guys know what I do, and that ain't changed. I produce for Dark Waters Entertainment. I definitely have a couple of people that are more than willing to talk with you if you're needing them. My email is wesvic@imdarkwaters.com. You guys be blessed and you be safe. Also, if you've had like any stories of spiritual warfare or anything along those lines, hit me up on that, especially. To be honest, that right there is really being welcomed. Also, if you get a chance, check out, I believe it's Strong Men Praying. That is the Men of Steel. They're a very wonderful group, and believe me, they've helped a lot of people. Check them out if you get a chance. And like I said, y'all be blessed and you be safe.